Hi, I'm going to do another unboxing today, and this will be the Ogre Kingdom's Hunter. Now, this model here, unlike most characters, he comes with a small unit. In this case here, it is his saber tusks, which are these saber-toothed cat hunting cats instead of hunting dogs that he uses. I very much like the idea that he has hunting cats, just to take a break from how many wolves and stuff appear in multiple armies or types of hounds. There's a few armies already that have dogs or dog-like creatures, so it's nice to have something a little bit different with the cats here. Now, if you look at him, what you can really see about this guy is that he's a kind of a Grizzly Adams, get off my mountain kind of dude. He fits the ogre aesthetic, but at the same time, he has a very primitive look to him compared to the others. Even you can see that these spear tips here, at least as they've painted them, is stone, and I imagine that's because of the way it's sculpted. He just uses a straight up club despite being a character, and it has some bits of bone and metal plated onto it with just some bolts. But he has your standard ogre attire otherwise. He has a gut plate. In this case here, this really cool skull that I will look at closer with the actual piece. He's got his steel shod boots. There's not really much to say about the overall image here, other than it is a cool one. It's got your standard Ogre Kingdoms mountain scene that the period had. You can see that in the other boxes we looked at. And other than that, I think we are ready to just give it a quick look and then open it up. Some side images. The other one is, there we go, this one. Also saber tusk. Got lost and forgot which direction to go there. Now, because it's a bigger box, we do get a nice unit profile picture here of them set up. And again, as I said, this is one of the more unique heroes that do come with their own little unit. And these guys have a special rule in 6th edition called Sick'em Boys. And what it is an ability to send these cats out charging ahead of him, and they'll form their own fast cavalry unit. And while they're not very strong, in the sense that they won't be able to take on a big block of troops, they can attack light cavalry, skirmishers, and general chaff that's being sent out maybe to redirect charges. These guys go in first, and they can chase those things off the turn before. There's the how to paint suggestions that they give. Again, these are all just old paints. You can find these converted. So for example, Commando Kaki would be Karak Stone, Graveyard Earth would be I want to say Steel Legion Drab. I believe that's what it is. Bleach Bone is Ushapti Bone, and Bolt Gun Metal would be probably Ironbreaker. I forget. Dark Flesh, I do forget which one that is. I don't know if there is a comparable flesh to Dark Flesh. I'd have to look that up. Here's the quick instructions. This guy's a lot simpler because a lot of the detail in this here goes into the two cats. And they don't show you how to put them together, but as you'll see, they're very simple, and you'd be hard-pressed to have trouble figuring it out. So you got his crossbow, weapon arm, crossbow bolts, which is, I guess I should have said that these are bolts. These are not spears like they look like. This is a bolt thrower, which is also very cool to have a character with a bolt thrower, and it's so fitting for an ogre. A couple of gut plate options, and a little detail piece, which it's like some skulls. So I'll go ahead and I'll open this up. I won't be able to keep everything nice and neat in the box this time, just because it won't stay closed, I'm sure, or stay open, sorry. Oh. The catalog. I'm not going to go through this again. The other two videos have it. So here we start off with the Ogre Hunter himself, his main body. Super characterful dude. Like I said, I really like the looks on this, the look on this guy's face. Very cool. Lots of blades all over him to, you know, go with the idea that he's a hunter. Same with furs and leather strappings. And he's wearing basically almost like a big greatcoat, trench coat kind of thing, covered in fur, as I said. Super cool model. There's the hole for the spears. Really like this guy. Looking forward to putting him together. There's the spear slash bolts. Huge things. Have to straighten them out, as you can see. But I'll figure that out. I'm not going to do that right now. Although at the same time, maybe they are supposed to be kind of crooked and not well made. They are made by ogres after all. And I kind of imagine he puts this together in the field. Big crossbow. And just for scale purposes, our trusty Empire Warrior Priest. And yeah, I mean, it's not bolt thrower sized, but you can see that it's the size of a man. So it makes sense that it would be a bolt thrower, and it's not actually a full bolt thrower. I believe it's a light bolt thrower. It's not got as much strength or doesn't do as much damage. I'd have to check the book, but I don't have the book right now. It's in the mail, and I'll take a look at that when it gets here. There's his club. Again, Again, lots of nice straps and buckles on this guy. You know, he looks like he's just got his clothing just held together the best he can, and at the same time also using stuff like this as probably almost like a bite-proof type of armor for when the animals get a little too close. Otherwise, you know, it's a pretty brutal looking club, but it's just possibly stone the way they've painted it. I don't know, maybe they suggest making it look like stone. I feel more like I'd prefer if it was wood, but I do like the idea again of stone. I like the Stone Age feel of this guy. Now, this little piece here, it is just how would you hold it? Like this. It's just like I guess like a fetish almost. It's little trophies he's taken, some human skulls, and they look like they might have beards. So maybe they're some sort of maybe like some flagellants or something. I'm trying to think what. I guess all Empire have beards. They all like beards. So Empire dudes lost their heads. Here is that cool gut plate I'll be using. I'm a sucker for the idea of big tusks and spikes coming out of these guys just for their bull rushes. I feel like these guys would want stuff like this. This would just make that bull rush even more painful. And while it doesn't do anything in the game, for me a lot of this is the imagination factor of the living world and the characters and them being somewhat, you know, in their own way alive. So having this idea that they would like to have stuff like this all over their gut plates, not just for ornamentation, but for the pure savagery of it, I really like that. Just the brutality. Now here, this one here is, I don't know, like a lion's head. It could be one of the saber tusks, I guess. Actually, now to look at it, yeah, it's definitely a saber tusk. So, saber tusk head that he uses as a gut plate. I don't know, I'm not really sure about this one. I feel like I'd use this more as a banner top or something. Let me just look at it closely really quick. Yeah, I don't really see that as a gut plate. I don't see anything. I mean, maybe back here it's kind of suggesting it's on a plate, but you really won't see that I can't see any way to tell that's a plate. And as cool as it does kind of look, I don't know, just it makes me think of what was the taxi driver? Or no, was it who was it in Total Recall? The guy that had the little mutant coming out of mutant coming out of his stomach. It's kind of got that weird look to it. So I don't know. I might use that for a banner. I think that could really jazz up my attempts at making a Battle Standard Bear, which might be in the cards. I don't know yet. Then here, oh, this is actually also cool. Unlike other ogres, he actually has a 50mm square base. That's to let him line up with these better, because these are just cavalry bases. So that would be the unit size on the board if they were to all charge together, or just, you know, when they're together. Oh, and they can recall if I do remember correctly. Now finally, we have the saber tusks themselves. They're multi-part. In this guy's case, you just have to attach his legs, front and back. These are cool. I really like these. I feel like because there were only 2 of them, and you can only ever have 2 in a 6th edition game. In 8th edition, you can have a bunch because they become a special choice. But in 6th edition, they're only attached to him. So unless you buy more than one hunter to use, you won't ever have or need more than 2 of those in 6th edition, these guys. So I believe because of that, unlike most hound models, they were actually able to give some really good details. And they're quite striking, and you know, as you saw in the picture on the front of the box, they look cool painted up. I think I might change up the painting recipe. I don't know, the skin tone that they went for on all these ogres and stuff back in 6th edition. There's a real green tint to it, and I'd like to avoid the thought that these guys are just bigger orcs. So I'm going to stay away from the greens if I can, but we'll see. I'll do I definitely will do a show off of it as I get things painted, but I have to figure out my paint scheme first. There's the other one. Same as before, some legs. This one though has a separate head. I guess they just couldn't make this fit in the mold process. It's got some flash I need to remove. How hard is it? It's not that bad. A little piece of flash. Some more there. I haven't cleaned these guys up yet, obviously. I don't even know if I've actually started working on these guys at all. No, I'd say not. There's no pinning done yet. I always miss this stuff, though. I go through it as best I can, but I find I miss half the flashes and mold lines, and I don't see it till I start priming, at which point I'll clean it up, and then I take a brush and a little pot of primer paint and just touch up the spots I had to cut up. But yeah, that is it, and with that, I think I'm just going to end this video. Thanks again for watching. The last video in this, I guess, again, I'll call it a series, will be me unboxing, to some degree. I won't go through everything, but the large army box that they sold for Christmas this year. And once I'm done that, I'll be able to start building everything that's left, and hopefully get some games in pretty soon with them. At the very least, I'll get them painted, primed, I mean, so I can start painting. And I'm going to see if I can have the entire army that I have so far, maybe not painted by the end of this month, but definitely built, primed, and some work done. I'm not that fast of a painter, but we'll see. Alright, thanks for watching, and you have yourselves a great day. Again, any comments or thoughts, leave them in the comments below. Thank you.